But we ought to let this thought of our mind come in lowliness. In other words, that lowliness is a Greek translation for the word meekness.
All right, meekness.
We ought to come humble.
All right.
We ought to come in meekness of our mind. And we get confused with meekness because we think it's weakness.
All right.
Meekness does not constitute weakness. Let us esteem, or let us regard or respect others better than we do ourselves. The mind of Christ, ask yourself the question, what exactly is the mind of Christ?
All right.
What is the one thing that characterizes the mind of Christ? And we look at this, it's his humility.
Yeah.
Christ's humility, that's the characterization of who Christ truly is. In Ephesians 4, we are told, walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called.
Well.
Don't walk worthy, but the Christ mind has to be in you.
Yeah. All right.
If the Christ mind is not in you, then you're unable to walk in the vocation which you are called.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have so much in our churches today, that we have people that are out of their ordinary.
Well.
You're out of position. Because your mindset, your thinking thought have been interrupted because the Christ mind is not in you.
All right. All right.
To be on one mind is to let the mind of Christ be in you. Is it in you? Is the mind of Christ in you? If the mind of Christ is in you, it'll permit us to be different.
Yeah.
It will permit us to have our own expressions. It also allows us to have the difference in gifts and the difference in our method of service. But the Christ mind, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. We won't have to worry about what tomorrow will bring, because tomorrow will take care of itself. You worry about tomorrow won't change a thing. You cannot add 1 cubit to anything by worrying. But let this mind be in you. God said, cast all your cares on him. Because he cares for you. But this is mind in you. We won't be able to say the same thing all the time. None of us are going to be the same regardless of what area we take. But what we can do, we can agree on those things that are faith-bound. We can agree on those things that are good for the church. We can also stand up and disagree to agree. We can agree to disagree. But we still need the mind of Christ in us to change something. We ought to be tired of fighting with one another in church.
That's right.
We ought to be tired of coming to church every Sunday and serving God and not seeing no benefit. We ought to be tired of praising God and not getting the manifestation of Christ in our lives. See, we start to lose our mind and gain the mind of Christ and let God's mind be in you, then things will change. It's not a hard thing to do. It's not hard to let this mind be in you. Is it in you? Is it in you? You know how I can tell it's in you? When somebody talks about you, and you can still love them. You know how I know it's in you? When you can love those that persecute you. When you can love those that falsely accuse you, then the mind of Christ is in you. So you can't do it by yourself. All of that human in us that will make us stand up for ourselves. But when the mind of Christ on the inside of you, you're able to take something that you never thought you could. You're able to say something that you never thought you said before. You're able to forgive those that won't forgive you. You must have the Christ mind. You must become like-minded of Jesus Christ. It's in you. It's in you. See, if the Christ mind is in you, you came into his court with praise. If Christ's mind is in you, it came with thanksgiving in your heart. If it's in you. Instead of worrying so much about yourself, you ought to start just praising God and ask yourself the question, is this mind in you? I wonder how many of you have thought about that. your mind, please lose mine.
Yeah.
Please, because if I lose my mind, I got a possibility of gaining the mind of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can erase my stinking thinking by having the mind of Christ. But why is that so important, Pastor? Because in the book, it tells me let nothing be done through strife and vainglory. I've done some things, but y'all get me wrong now. I'll cut some of you folks out. Don't get me wrong now. I know all those words. I kept them locked up. But by faith, I keep them locked up. Vainglory, when you get angry with that vainglory, and we start trying to hurt something out with the words out of our mouth. We want to tear them down with the words out of our mouth because I want you to hurt like I hurt. But when you got the mind of Christ on the inside of you, you're able to love them even if they don't love you. You're able to be joy in a sad time. You're able to be warm when the church is cold. You're able to be happy when there is no joy. You got to have the mind of Christ on the inside of you. I love it for a simple fact that He died on a cross up on Calvary's hill to save a wretch like me. He died on a Friday to save somebody that was worthy like me. The mind got to be inside of me, especially when I found out that they had to put him on a bar or two. The mind of Christ has to be in me when I found out that early one Sunday morning. Early one Sunday morning. When the man got out of the grave, he got up out of the grave for Pastor Thompson. Did he get up for you? Did he get up for you? And I found out because his mind inside of me, he said that any man be in him is a great preacher. All things passed away. But behold, I look for Johnson, all things are new. I'm a changed man because of his mind. I'm a changed man because what he done for me. See, I took on the inside of me and I kept him there. I put my arms around him. I held on to him. Christ's mind. I want to sit in you. Y'all wonder why they can't get Pastor Thompson mad anymore? Y'all saying, dude, Pastor Thompson still ain't got mad. That's why you know I can leave him alone, because I done tried everything. Oh, Pastor Thompson is still just smiling. Because Pastor Thompson died a long time ago. See, when I lost my mind, I became Christ-like. See, I look just like him. Y'all take a good look. I look just like him. I look like my dad. These are characteristics. I like his character. So I look just like him. So when you can't get Pastor Thompson mad, that's the little Jesus boy. That's why he can't get mad. And I told him everywhere I go, the reason I love him so much is because I've searched high, I've searched low, and I couldn't find nobody. I searched the whole world over, and I couldn't find nobody. I've been there, I've been here, I've been everywhere. Couldn't find nobody there. You know why? Because the mind of Christ is in me. I became Christ-like. When he died, he died, he died. But early one Sunday, early. Oh, I wish y'all felt like that. Early. Sometimes I just want to praise him by myself. Early. One Sunday morning. When he got up. Hey, somebody understood what I'm talking about. I became Christ-like. I'm going to walk by faith, not by sight. I became Christ-like. And one day, when he called my name, I'm going to pick up my cross. I'm going to follow him. One day, when he calls my name, I'm going to be ready. See, I'm not waiting till tomorrow to get ready. I've been getting ready for a lot of years. So when he comes, I will answer the call. I will be ready because I become Christ-like. Question.
Come on, brother.
Is this mind in you?